Hello and welcome to session four. Four are we on? This is the Weekend at Bernie's episode. Um, how you guys feeling?
Pretty good.
Sleep deprived and hyped.
All right, that can't possibly go wrong. So the exciting thing is during the week since last time we were together, you guys did an awful lot of talking about stuff. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to stuff. So
It was a great deal of nonsense, so
oh, good. I didn't
Yeah,
miss.
but
probably better.
we got like 3 or 4 plans going on at the same time. So I don't know, Bams. I don't think you're ready for it.
I mean, that's my secret. I'm never ready. It's a joke. However, that does bring us to why don't we talk a little bit about the plans that you've came up with so that this way we are absolutely on the same page and we're kind of good to roll.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of our plans revolved around having a hacker with us.
Yeah, shame how that works out sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, Hex is coming or what?
Uh, if they show up, and they'll suddenly spawn into the world.
Uh, we don't have Hex?
Nope.
Yeah, that's kind of funny how life works out.
All right.
So I guess without Hex, we like plaster the body to Sue, and we go this way.
I think that just puts more pressure on Dante.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, I mean, Dante, as far as I'm concerned, is okay with killing people, so we can just kill people.
No, we can't just kill people. I'm saying that instead of hacking stuff, Dante will just go, oh, it's in the computer, you don't need to check, and then roll a bunch of dice.
So our current plans are we act as delivery men of some sort to get into the morgue.
Not only some sort. In my opinion, it's very plausible that we deliver an embalming table, which is deep enough to hide a body inside. I've checked through morgue equipment in my free time. Awesome.
So you'd have to talk to Bamce about an availability rating on that, but typically you're not going to get one delivered in less than 24 hours, or just be able to pick one
We'll
up.
buy at the store. I mean, we will go right to their door.
Morgues
and ask
are
for
us.
Exactly.
Or we act as the people who are picking up the body and transporting it to the funeral home.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were going to do, is just say we were there from the
Or-
funeral parlor.
We just break into the funeral home when the body has been transported and lift it there.
Wasn't it like our final option at all times was waiting until they put the body in the ground in the last possible moment and then kill/bribe whoever is near and then lift the body
Yeah.
and just run?
Well,
Okay, I
the
forgot
fact
about
that
that one.
the fact that it's the last possible moment makes that by default our last plan. Another option we might have, I thought the plan that we were going to go with was to pretend we were from the funeral parlor retrieving the body, to have the morgue just give it to us, and then we were going to just go.
Yeah.
the
I
weird
don't
thing
know
is-
if we have the hearse. I mean,
We don't need the hearse. They wouldn't bring the hearse for that. They'd bring a van or something. The hearse would just be for the ride from the funeral parlor to the interment. But another option I was thinking was, if we don't want to front like we're there from the funeral parlor to pick up the body, we could just wait for whoever it is that's actually from the funeral parlor coming to pick up the body, and then carjack them.
I thought the issue was more about exposure, like who do we attack, when, and what possible consequences
Well,
might it have.
That's why my favorite plan is to walk into the hospital, tell them they should give us the body, and have them freely give us the body. But if for whatever reason we don't think that's going to work or not everybody's comfortable with it, we can just wait till the other people have the body and then tell them they should give us the body.
Well, that's why I was harping on the whole time about like the security thing. Like, I don't know, what is the security thing? Is it like non-existent? Is it like barely there? Is it like one bodyguard? Is it like normal hospital staff? I mean, I'd like to just look maybe before we enter.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to roll a couple dice.
Yeah. Do you have the was it the Kanamuchi or the Fly Spy or something like that, right?
I have the Fly Spy and I have like 3 mini drones like the Horizon Cube. So I have plenty of eyes in the sky. Plus a Condor, or however you pronounce it. Well, a balloon drone, a balloon camera. Well, I can just set it up over the hospital and just observe shit.
I'm thinking that with the Fly Spy, it's small enough that it would be hard to notice. So once we identify the entrance to the morgue, you send the Fly Spy in and do a little scouting. And then we can decide whether or not to just pose as, plumbers and let Dante do his social engineering magic, or go for the transfer papers. Since we can't do any sort of matrix surveillance, we just do electronic surveillance.
Sure, I mean, I'm fine with that. I just, vote for Bamce to sort of second me on my guessing how many dice I have, since he has his own rules as to what I roll and when.
So if your drones are working by themselves, they will roll their pilot plus their autosoft rating, which is probably going to be about 9 dice. I'm sorry, the cubes are going to roll 8 dice for most of their things, assuming you have rating 6s, which is what it looks like you have. If you are jumped in, you will use your stuff.
Jet's an adept, right?
Yes.
Do you have that power that what's his name had, where he looked like he was dead?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Hashtag not all adapts.
It's a very specific use power, I would say.
I had a specific use in mind.
All right, so it sounds like the most reasonable option is to do the electronic surveillance, see what we see, and then we'll proceed in and try to get them to willingly give us the corpse. If not, they'll do it less willingly.
Let's boogaloo.
Okay, so it is currently like, what time was it? Like
11:30, yeah.
And you are planning on driving over there and staking out the place?
Yes, sort of. We wanted to at least make some rolls as to see what's going on inside.
Inside or just around the place?
Well,
I would assume
both, preferably.
Okay.
And I think right now Jet is driving Hex home.
Or, she just despawned and we don't have to think about it.
Okay, so Hex is driving to where should Hex drive to?
Hex
the Technomancer land.
And then it wasn't there.
We'll just. It's not an important plot point to figure out where Hex goes. Hex just.
It's a non-issue.
Yeah.
So what should I roll? I mean, I'm doing the recon, right, guys?
Dude, your phone buzzing, it's killing me.
Your money's your money.
Yeah, I like a phone and some talking and conversations, and this all gonna be in the stream.
Yep.
Come on now, Sue. Let's get some professionalism. Like discipline.
And push and talk. There's a button for this.
I mean, he probably doesn't know he's doing it.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, if you are jumped into your drone, it'll just be your normal perception test, limited by the drone sensor rating.
So just as I'm starting from the beginning, I would figure out, since we're probably doing a couple of circles in my van, or I'm doing this around the hospital, I would like to be probably jumped into the fly spy and order my cubes to sort of safely fly around the place to scout the place as safely as they can. So the cubes are rolling 8 dice since they are remote controlled, and I am rolling as a fly spy way more with a way lower threshold, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
So first I roll for the cubes because I know how many dice.
That's a good way to
Or
start.
do I? Okay.
It would be about 8 for the autopilot guys, and that would be your perception plus. Are you what you call it? You would also add your control rig rating to the one that you are jumped into, because you are.
Okay, one at a time. First, I roll the cubes.
Yep.
So it's just 8 dice.
8
just
dice.
normally.
Yep, and you can just roll once for the cubes because they're working kind of like as a giant group rather than rolling like 6 times, because that just gets annoying.
Okay.
Big money. Or really any money, I guess. Alright, that's good for them.
That's not bad. Actually, way more than I expected. So there's the cubes. Now I roll the fly spy, and I am the fly spy. So.
Yep.
That would be. Could you repeat the formula so I will fill in the blanks?
It's your perception skill plus your intuition.
Mm-hmm. So I don't give the +3 of any kind that I get from the electronics I have.
Nope, because you are not using them. You are using the fly spice thing. You will get +2 from your control rig, because control rigs are awesome. And you will have a limit of
9
5.
plus 2. So it's 9 plus 2, so it's 11. Right?
Yep.
That's just perception plus my control rig and nothing more?
Nope. That's it.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Nice.
So, coming up on the hospital at the end of the beginning of the morning, technically, because it is now after midnight.
Guys, listen.
It's very dark. There is a fairly empty parking lot out front that's got some cars, presumably either employees or people who are, staying with loved ones, that kind of thing. Down one end, which is where the emergency room is, there's going to be actually a helipad that has a helicopter on it, and a big I guess a garage for said helicopter. The other end is going to have a bunch of parking behind the buildings. We're looking at 4 stories. What specifics would you like to know?
As I'm driving with the team, I invite my team to ask me the questions as well.
We need to know where the morgue is.
Yeah, in relation to the outside.
Service entrance, loading dock, something like that.
Yep, you can totally find the giant dumpsters out back that are presumably for biohazards and regular stuff and recycling. There's 4 big dumpsters out there. There's also I guess a store or a hospital specific truck that's a pickup truck that has. We said we were starting in October, right?
Sure.
Okay. I vaguely remember something about that. I remember making a Christmas is already here joke about that. Rot, you will notice that they have a pickup truck there that has a mount for a snowplow on the front of it. So this is kind of like where the maintenance people probably park their gear. Um, where the morgue is not something you will be able to figure out from the outside, but you can totally see like this is clearly where they dump trash. The maintenance people probably come in and out of here. Some of the housekeeping people probably come in and out of here. And then there's like the front main entrance, the side entrance, and obviously the emergency room has a like a priority entrance kind of thing because it's an emergency.
Okay, so I guess like I would relay the details of the public entrances to the hospital to my friends.
Doesn't the morgue usually have a dedicated entrance to the external?
Well, we assume it's the dumpster one.
Yeah,
Like
probably
right now.
Servants,
It
service
would be
entrance.
like stairs going down or a ramp going down or something like that.
There is like a part that goes down in the back where like stuff would get delivered by the dumpsters. Like it goes down so that the back of the 18-wheeler that pulls up to it would be on a flat level rather than like having to like
Yeah.
but nothing
Um,
like an underground parking or anything.
I haven't been to the morgues of too many hospitals, but I don't think it would be the same as the loading dock. I think it would be a separate thing.
Well, maybe this hospital is like that.
Okay.
I mean,
So you want to try and get your fly spy in there?
Wait, I already kind of did. I had 4 successes on that, and I lowered the threshold by 2. I suppose.
the threshold doesn't really do anything in this situation because there is no like threshold you are trying to overcome. It's just how
Well,
much.
that's what you tell me. That's what
Like,
you tell me. But what about the guards that try to,
If
see
there
the
was
spy?
somebody that was hiding here, and you were trying to find them, then you would get that effect. But this is just like, how much random information can I get? There are, of course, cameras all over the place because that kind of thing.
Can
Okay.
you mark
But
the camera locations for us?
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, sure. It's like I'm sort of making this not so mental map of the hospital, of course.
Yeah, because like you are, these things have cameras on them, so you very obviously have a at current moment picture kind of thing going on.
Okay, this is probably something I'm gonna be like the most useful in the game about. So just it's my moment.
just let me have it, all right? If you want to get inside, well, that's a little bit more difficult. How would you like to try and get inside?
Well,
So you mean
firstly, is
okay.
there any like fleet vehicles, anything that looks out of place as far as cars outside, or no?
Determine
I guess
what you would.
it's like the cubes and I mean, who's riding around the hospital? Maybe you can roll as well, perception and stuff.
Well, there's a couple more questions you could ask, but what would you determine? Like, what do you think would be out of the ordinary to you?
Well, to me, you're going to have employees that are there with random assorted Americars, etc. And then if you have any kind of corporate or extra security presence, it's probably going to look like a corporate vehicle or a fleet vehicle of some sort.
And the Draco Foundation logo, that would probably stand out.
Okay. You don't see anything like the closest thing you would say to like out of the ordinary is if you guys are sitting there for a while, you will notice a car kind of patrolling every like 15 minutes.
Okay.
But, it's only unusual because like after the first 15 minutes, you're like, wait a minute, that's the same car again. That's not somebody leaving, coming in, or that kind of thing. Which is probably just like somebody on security doing rounds.
Yeah.
So now, I guess, Rod, the thing is try and get in and avoid flying in the urge to fly into bright lights.
Yeah, and like fruit bowls and like the disposal waste. I mean, getting into character with the fly spy.
All right. How would you like to get in?
Thinking. I would like to get in thinking about the possible consequences. That's a good question. Well, looking from outside, the possible vectors of infiltration would be the doors, probably some kind of windows. Do I see any windows that lead a little bit closer to where the I don't know.
There, you see a bunch of windows because obviously all of the different rooms that people are staying in have windows on them to the outside. Um,
Okay, morgue for convenience purposes would be on the floor level. I don't think it would be anywhere else
sure.
or below.
You know because you have like the publicly accessible floor plans of this place are pretty easily to get because they're publicly accessible. They're like when you walk into a place, they'll be the things that are posted next to like the elevators and the stairwells that are like, this is how you escape in terms of a fire. So you know that the first floor is kind of mostly office stuff and um, facilities. That's the word I want. You don't know the specific layout of where they are because they only really have um, the general public ones that are available because you know it's like I'm going in here to visit a sick whatever. Here's how I need to get out of here in case of a fire or whatever.
Okay, so I'm looking for I need to visit the dead whatever. Like, where is the morgue?
To my knowledge, people just don't go visit people in the morgue.
Well, you don't know. Maybe they are ordered by the feds or something.
That's a slightly different situation than just somebody walking in and be like, I want to visit your morgue.
Okay, but it should be on the plan, at least. Yeah. The morgue this way for, I don't know.
If you were inside and you could fly around and look around, you could totally try and find it that way, yes. But like you just have
So there's no morgue on the plan?
It's just going to show on the
At
plan
all.
as a blank room. It's not going to say morgue in a giant pen.
Yeah, it's going to have like, here's your elevators, here's your stairwell, here's the gift shop, here's the front desk, but it doesn't have like, this is Steven's office, this is Mark's office, this is Francis's office. It doesn't have that stuff on there.
Sure.
For
so I fly
now,
inside.
I would, yeah, for now I would stick to the floor that the loading dock is on, and if you can't find that, then maybe the basement.
Yeah, the morgue would be underground, I think. Do we have just floor plans, or do we have like HVAC type stuff?
You have
You know,
just
Hex,
like floor plans.
Hex just joined the Roll20, so he's in the vicinity. Maybe he can do his stuff.
Hex is totally respawned. Maybe.
Or
Yeah,
not.
sorry, I missed those couple of messages.
Nah, it's alright. You didn't miss anything.
Hex,
important.
dear. We missed you.
They panicked pretty hard when they're like, "Oh God, we don't have a matrix. What are we gonna do?"
I cried.
That's exactly how it went.
Yeah, and the voice tone, everything. I mean,
They were
I
master
sounded a little
impression.
bit more girly than that, though.
They were inconsolable. It was. A
Oh
mess.
God, what'll we do?
Exactly. So
Hex, are you like shy struck or something?
Well, I'm trying to assess the situation, but like I hear this. Well, if I can actually proceed to inspect to figure out where the morgue is, I mean, is that what we're doing? Is we're at the hospital?
so right now, it's like a couple of minutes. It's probably about 20 to 30 minutes, depending upon traffic. After you guys were doing the thing at the funeral home, Rot is doing some spying on getting a general layout of the hospital itself. Brief description is like if you're facing the front of the hospital, off to the right, there is that's where like the emergency room is. There's a helicopter and like a garage for the helicopter over there, and a priority entrance because it's the emergency room. Going around back, there's a big like maintenance area that has 4 dumpsters. The ground kind of goes down about 2 meters or whatever it is, so that an 18-wheeler can just back straight up to it rather than for like deliveries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a couple of like fire doors that you'll see around the place that are kind of like don't really have entrances from the outside, but they're the kind of door that like you hit the push bar on, the fire alarm goes off, and you can evacuate that way.
Hmm.
And now Rot was confused and perplexed about how to get his fly spy inside.
Yeah, I think I will start with the dumpster entrance. I mean, does it open at any time? I mean, anyone gets out and gets in, or should I like just choose a window next to the dumpster and then just fly in an open window like this? Because as far as I'm next to the dumpster, I may get confused with a normal fly at least some of the time.
All right. I tell you what, if you want to roll me your edge real quick, we'll see how long it takes for somebody to come out for a smoke break.
Now I have 3.
Quick. This is a hospital. They don't like you smoking on their property.
Yeah, they don't like you smoking on anybody's property, but that doesn't mean that people don't do it.
Oh, I know. That's why I said they got to be quick.
Yeah.
So 1 success. And like 2 ones. So I don't know.
That's a glitch.
Yeah.
So that's
If
like
it was
an
a glitchable
unlucky.
roll.
Can you glitch on an edge roll?
Not usually. This is just like a how long does it take? How lucky is he in relation to somebody actually coming out and going to smoke in their car?
So no one ever goes out. No one smokes in this hospital.
No, people totally smoke in this hospital. So you're going to be sitting out there for like 20, 30 minutes, just kind of like chilling, spying on the place before you see the door will open and somebody's going to come out. You weren't really in position to get in there, but you'll see them go out to their car and get inside, and you'll see the car start up, but the lights don't come on and it doesn't move anywhere, and it's like, this guy's out there smoking in his car. So a couple of minutes, that 3 to 5 cigarette time will go by before you see the door open and you kind of fly on over to get in position. If you want to give me a pilot aircraft roll, so to see how well you can kind of skirt in with this person without them really noticing.
You mean like without being in? Because I am the spy. I am jumped into the fly spy. So just
Yep.
a pilot aircraft, or
Yep, just a pilot aircraft.
Plus
Where
whatever
are
bonuses you get for your rig.
I'm
right?
sorry, yes, plus your control rig bonus.
so it's not a roto drone. So it's 11 because it's plus 2.
Nice.
See that? I mean,
That's pretty good.
I used my glitching for the luck, which didn't matter. So booyah!
Right.
It skills like that.
So you're gonna be able to follow this person in, and they're not gonna pay any attention. You'll go inside your first door. On your right, there is a cage that has a bunch of like biohazard labels on it. And then he'll go through his second door into like the hospital proper and get one of those big just housekeeping carts that's got like the mop bucket on it and extra trash bags and other like cleaning stuff, and he'll just start pushing that cart around and pick up a big trash can on wheels and roll it behind him, and he'll start going down one of the hallways. And you are free to explore.
Well, that sounds like an awfully like singular chapter of the story. Like, does anyone want to like ask me what to look for? Because I'm looking for the morgue, like most of all. But anything else I see?
Security. If there's a sign-in stand or something at the loading dock.
Sure, I can like roll for all of that right now or no? I don't know. How do I go? Do I tell you what I look for, or?
So if everybody's cool, we'll continue with him. I don't know if does anybody else want to do anything, or we just want to follow the fly spy for the moment.
Well,
I got
Hex wants
nothing.
to.
I got one.
Does Hex want to hack stuff?
I'm trying to figure out how I can get in and discreetly hack something.
Yeah, no, that's a tough question.
Yeah, because I'd like to. One of the things that could help is if I could get somehow like get into like the communications for the hospital. Like if I could somehow hack into the and like filter like their communications, like radios or something.
Well, if you could somehow hack the app, the map, like not the public map, but like the map of the place, it would be awesome.
There will be diagrams and specifications of utilities, like where all the refrigerant is and stuff like
that's
that.
what I want.
But
Watch, I'm gonna glitch and I'm gonna think it's the morgue, but I'm gonna send you to the kitchen.
Quit it.
Well, fortunately, I'm already inside and I'm going to be flying and I can like help at least a little.
Yep.
So, what can I grab onto discreetly and hold for dear life to hack?
well,
I'm assuming just walking up to the door, holding it, and having my friend hold me up is not going to do well for a hospital.
I mean, you could
You
give
could-
it a try.
You could try and check into the emergency room. I'm sure there's
Yes.
something electronic that you can touch there.
Yes, that's not a problem. The problem is when they go and take me away from whatever, I lose my connection.
Can't you just go into the Matrix? Like,
You would keep
Well-
your mark on a thing if you got a mark on a thing, but yeah, no, it's not like when they pull your hand off, you lose everything. You just
So,
lose the
can I-
easier roll you had.
Yeah, that would make it significantly harder to hack something.
Not really,
Well-
because once you can go into the host, you can just hack stuff versus their. When you're inside the host, you're directly connected to stuff inside the host, so they just use their device ratings to defend, rather than the host's stuff.
And then if you pass out while sitting in the emergency room, that's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, but I'm
I
saying,
w-
wouldn't that drastically affect my ability to hack once they remove me from said object I'm touching?
Not if you got a mark on it, mark on the host first.
because you sort of move with the speed of thought, so I guess you could touch it and then really quickly hack stuff and then, oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then
Well,
once you
what I'm
get the
wondering
mark,
is-
you're in.
Could I have somebody waiting in a car outside, walk in, sit in a chair, pass out, touching something,
Or just with you. Like, take like Dante with you to bullshit people if anything happens.
so if we want to go in through the loading dock anyway, there's either going to be some kind of keypad or security thing he could hack in, or it's easy to get through the door and he can find something inside.
I mean, if he wanted to
But-
try and get up to the door, he could fondle the door, yeah.
But there's going to be cameras outside also.
Mm-hmm.
Can we not get somewhere around like a wheelchair to put him in and like wheel him up next to a maglock or whatever?
Sure. Like that's
Cool.
something you can try and do. I don't know where you're finding a wheelchair at 12:30 in the morning.
I'm just going to dump him on the
Around
ground
the
and duct
emergency
tape his
room.
hand to it.
Sorry, there's a couple people there.
Don't they have
horrible?
wheelchairs like around the
That would
emergency room
attract
for?
suspicion.
Yeah, you could totally go in and ask the nurses there for a wheelchair to help wheel your friend in or whatever.
Okay.
So, is that what you're gonna try and do, or do you want to go back to the flight spy?
Well, I was hoping to get some feedback from folks on that concept.
I mean, honestly, just going into the emergency room without a wheelchair will accomplish the same goal.
This is sad. We're debating on how vital the wheelchair is.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I think you can just go. In the worst case scenario, you just get out. I mean, it's
So,
not like people are going to chase you because you went out of the emergency room.
See, here's the worst part, okay? It's this late at night, so it's past visiting hours. If this were during visiting hours, we could just claim to go visit a friend in the hospital on the 5th floor, walk in, and then, go sit somewhere and, touch something. And it would be a little more casual.
I thought the concern was more that the whole point of this is to assess the security to find out if we want to be pretending to be from the funeral parlor or not. If we wander in there and, get recorded by all the cameras, that limits
Yeah, my
our
personal philosophy on pretending to be the people from the funeral parlor and stuff is, as long as you look the part and you sound right, it shouldn't matter. In theory.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Okay, so let's just take the. Let's just check the layout and take the funeral home route.
Okay, but until then, we still need to know where the morgue is, what we're up against, things like that. So, if Hex, you're not cool with hacking in, then Rot, keep on flying.
Sure. So perception again.
So, Rot, I will want 3 things from you. I want a
Oh
perception
my
check,
god.
a navigation check, and a stealth check. And a cup of coffee, apparently. Try and carry one of those in your tiny fly spy arms.
Yeah. I can fly into a cup of coffee. So everything's augmented by my rig, right? +2.
The navigation check wouldn't, because that's just kind of like you drawing a mental map in your head about where you are in relation to everything else outside, that kind of thing.
Okay. So first, I'm rolling. Just check the titles.
Any others?
Just wait. I'm looking for my stealth. So that's sneaking or just the stealth software.
It would be your sneaking skill. Since you're jumped in, it would be plus your logic, and plus.
So it's like, okay. So
you would be
check.
11.
Okay, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's not bad, right? Okay.
Shit, I might not know where the morgue is, but no one knows where I am.
The good news is static objects are very easy to find because they don't move away from you. So you're gonna.
I found that morgue.
You're gonna spend a little time in here. Not all of that long because you're gonna go down the one back out, come down the hallway that the dude went down. He's gonna go to the right, and you're like, all right, rather than risk being seen by that guy, I'm gonna go to the left, and you're gonna kind of go under some doors and stuff. You'll find out where the maintenance garage is. You're gonna find out where the kitchen is, and then you're gonna kind of go down and it's okay, this is the hallway that leads down to the emergency room. And then you're gonna kind of fly back in to check out the other way. And down the other way, there's some offices, and a environmental services or a housekeeping I guess there's their stock room, and there's going to be a second service elevator back there that one of the will go down into the basement, and it's labeled basement, morgue, generator, and storage, I guess is what they would have down there.
I like each one of those. Great. So, question: do I need to write down everything you say, like the Holy Bible, or can I just assume I remember that and I can ask you later?
You are free to write down any notes you would like to write down, sir.
But it was more of a question, if I ask you, will you remind me, or go you should have wrote that down?
It depends upon the context of the question. You know what I mean? You obviously know where these things are, and you have footage of what these things look like. But if you're like, oh, what was that guy's name on his name badge as he walked around pushing his stupid cart? It's a little bit more difficult because that was never something that was like really defined. Like he's not Francesco or something.
Okay, I can deal with that. So cool. Is everyone satisfied? Should I check something more?
How much activity is there? I'm guessing not much because it's late at night, but
Flying around, you're gonna see like another person doing housekeeping stuff with a similar like trash bags, mop bucket, mops, brooms, trash can kind of thing. You'll see a security guard wandering the halls. You will see. Um, do you go up into like the front area, or do you just kind of stay in the back area?
Question I would have for the team because I wasn't here. What's the guy's name? Like, can I try to find him maybe, like manually flying around, or is it like
Dr.
impossible?
Reginald Gladstone.
So okay.
If you were
I don't
to
think
check
I don't.
out the situation, that'd be awesome.
Like, is there a chance at all for me to like fly next to the, I don't know, book containing all the rooms with the numbers and stuff?
You mean something that would be digital, not physical?
No, because
The
reasons.
slabs might be labeled.
Yeah.
Like you
Isn't there going
didn't
to be like a
actually
wall of?
get downstairs into the morgue. Like you just know where the elevator that's going to take you to the morgue, where the generators and the storage and stuff is.
So morgue is closed. I cannot get inside.
Yeah, nobody was going down that elevator.
Are there stairs?
Yeah, they probably have a door on them though, just because like.
Okay, can I like get under the door? Because my objective is to find the morgue and find a lot about the morgue. So if I can get as close to it as I can,
Go ahead
then
and
I probably would.
let's roll your pilot aircraft and let's see how much you can squeeze this guy through where he shouldn't really fit. I would accept that attempt, Dante.
I am
That would be
rolling
pretty
well.
cool.
You are rolling very well. Okay. So this is one of those situations where the threshold will come into play because it's like you're trying to sneak under a door and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can get into the stairwell. You can go down like a flight of stairs and kind of squeeze yourself underneath that door, and you will come out into a very dark hallway.
So like dark, like no one's there. Dark.
Dark like no lights are on. Kind of dark.
What kind of sensors do you have on that bug?
I don't know if he has any by default, just because he probably didn't kit it out.
Okay.
I don't think I can.
You can definitely like tweak their sensor operations. I don't
because if he has like a sensor array, he has 8 by default, and I sort of I would have to like specify every single one out of the 8 to in every drone I have, and I don't think I don't want to waste time doing that, but maybe I misunderstood that.
You could totally have like if you want to just like write out which 8 you would like to stick in your drones and just have that as like their standard rather than re-rating it like a million times. You could totally do that.
I think I did that with my van. I think so. I should have that somewhere, unless I didn't, because I would just use the same as I used in my van, but maybe I just changed it.
Well, let's find your van and see what your van has to say. Your van does not seem to have anything like that listed.
Yes, because it didn't show up, but I have like camera, motion sensor, ultrasound, radio signal scanner, laser microphone, olfactory scanner, atmospheric sensor, and laser rangefinder.
Okay.
Ultrasound should do it.
Ultrasound does not go through walls.
No, but it can help navigate the walls.
Sure.
If the fly spy had it, right?
Yeah, we can assume that the fly spy has it. If you want to go ahead and roll like your electronic warfare, your perception in this case, and we'll see.
No. Electronic warfare. I have 14 of that. That's way more.
And don't forget your
plus.
Yep, your +2 for your control rig.
Nice.
Are we getting relayed the information in real time?
Probably.
I don't see why not.
All right, so you get to keep a bunch of those. Looking up and down this hallway, you're going to notice that it's very empty. Down at one end, there will be the end that you can see is the elevator end. There's like a gurney that's just kind of collapsed down and then stood up against a wall, probably on like a hook or something as you look around. There's a pair of fire extinguishers. And there's like 3 doors that you're going to run into. Let's go 4 doors, 2 on each side, that you're going to run across. Hallway's a little wider than usual, than like, a normal hallway you would expect to run into. Probably because they might have to push large things through here. On the right side, there's a single door, and then there's a big double door. And then on the other side, there's just two single doors. And that's about all of the detail you can get out at a quick thing. Is there anything you would like to ask about the situation?
What do we see as far as security on the doors? Are there mag locks, or do they just look mundane?
It looks like maglock. There's a little like pad, but it's kind of hard to see if it's like an actual like maglock booper thing, or if it's like a keypad thing, because ultrasound doesn't exactly give, like, if it's a
High
flat
detail,
surface,
yeah.
if it's a flat surface for you to just push on, like if they were raised up buttons, you could see that. But if it's like a push pad, you're not gonna be able to get the difference between that and a flat thing that you hit a mag card up against. And those are on all the doors.
Okay.
Well, I'm kind of trying to think about what else I could ask about.
I mean, short of seeing if you can get through the large doors, I think we've got all we need.
Would it be pushing too far if I tried to get through the door as well? I don't know. I don't want to hijack the story right now, since I'm the only one taking roles here.
It is up to you guys.
It's all
Dude,
prep.
I'm
Everything you do
way
now
up
makes it
ready for
easier
this.
on us when we go in.
Mm-hmm.
So I may attempt.
Sure. You can give it another pilot test and see pilot stuff. Yeah, so with 4 hits, you can kind of squeeze through where the 2 big doors come together. They have those little like push broomy things on the bottom that like on the ends are frayed from use and stuff. So you kind of can get through there. Big surprise, this room is also dark. Using your ultrasound, you're going to get a lot of very weird and varied shapes. Looks like at first glance just a bunch of different boxes. There's a couple of beds over in the one corner. This is almost assuredly the storage room.
Can you use your atmospheric sensor to see where the coldest room in the hallway might be?
Is that possible?
That depends about how many hits you roll, sir.
So again, electronic warfare?
Yep. Got this guy over here using his brain.
It happens so rarely.
Yeah,
make it
thanks,
count.
Jet. I mean, that was nice.
Every once in a while. When you were going down the list, I was hoping you were going to say thermographic, and then you didn't. So I was like, well, that takes care of that. But yeah, no, you will be able to kind of tune your sensor a little bit. There'll be a little bit more like cold moisture in the air over in this one area, which is the door that is closest to the elevator on, like coming out the elevator, like right on their right hand side. It's got like the gurney hanging outside of it. Um, that door is significantly colder than the surrounding environment.
So squeezing again, I guess.
You can try. It's going to be. I'm going to let you know right now. It's going to be.
Okay, so this is actually hard.
Yeah, this is almost as if they don't want all of the cold to get out, so they kind of like weatherproof it.
And
Okay.
there's security on that as well, right?
Yeah, each one of these doors has like a key card or a pin pad or something like that on it.
Okay. I'm good if everybody else is.
Let's leave the bug down there keeping an eye on things.
Sure.
And the rest of us will start doing our thing.
I'll just, land in a corner of the
Sure.
roof or something.
You want to roll sneaking for that drone and see where you can park it, see whether or not somebody spots it.
Damn it.
I would hate to have a glitch here and have somebody step on it by accident.
The question is, if it has like little gecko feet, can you park it behind a camera, like on the wall or something, to make it harder to spot?
I mean, that'll all come down into the same stealth test,
Yeah, it will. Because for all like someone to come work on a camera and go, ooh, a fly spot.
Nope. Not happening.
Nikki is right.
Holy crap, 7 successes.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a threshold.
That's pretty good.
One
So
hell of a sneaky drone.
You sneak your drone into an inconspicuous spot in here, and you kind of park it facing the. Well, what do you want it to park it facing? Because obviously you can't get the whole thing.
Well, I guess the can I get like the morgue door and the exit sort of like
Yeah,
in the
you
one?
you can get the morgue door and the elevator door.
Sure, I think it's. I'm gonna like take it like this.
Sure. What else would you guys like to do since you're gonna leave that in there?
Do you still want me to try and download a map?
I don't think the map's
No.
necessary at this point.
Okay.
But we do need to get you access to the host so you can play interference. I think
Are we
we
going
should
to get the
probably
body
split
now?
up.
Or?
Well, me and Jet can go in and head down towards the morgue, and you and Sue can get access to a keypad and sit on it for a little bit.
By the way, I have a jammer, so if you want like interference without the host, I can maybe sit somewhere and jam stuff, but that's just like an option.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to stick with the posing as the body transporter people, or do we want to try and sneak in?
A little from column A, a little from column B. I say right now they don't have many people looking at us. We just walk in like we own the place, go down, take the body. If we hit interference, we'll tell them we're here to pick it up because something happened and we need to do it early.
Do you want to wait until tomorrow night and then in the interim get up like jumpsuits or whatever might be necessary for looking the part?
I got a fancy suit on.
Yes, because if workmen are known for anything, it's fancy suits.
I'll just tell them I own the funeral parlor and my guy got injured, can't come in to pick it up, so I need to do it now because I'm busy tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, but the thing is, don't you need like a key card to get down there? Usually the basement is full of like all kinds of nasty stuff.
That's where you come in.
That's why we need to get you access to the host.
So,
How do you do that?
could somebody who talks really, really well like somehow, convince somebody at the desk as I'm crying that, I, need to go visit my husband or something because he had a stroke, and that way I can get to the elevators, and the elevators should be connected to the system. It'll be a
Sue,
quiet little room to hack in.
are you still Sue? Are you still good at talking?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
You guys can just come up to the loading dock with us and stop when you find electronics.
I'm not good at lying though.
Oh, then we need to go to the loading dock, I guess, and stop when we hit electronic.
And then that way, Rot can keep the van close by as well.
So let's do this.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
And with that sounding like a plan, let's go ahead and take a quick break.